Okay, and the pictures that Raymond showed you is what we integrate to. That's your access control board along with the electronics trove enclosures and power supplies. It is a web-based, so you can log in from anywhere in the world. As long as you have an internet connection on your mobile phone, a laptop, pad, doesn't matter. And whatever sites you want to log in from. We support single sign-on with these identity provider, we call them. So if you have if your company's using Microsoft email or Google Gmail, just click on that. As long as you've been added as an operator in the software, you can log in without memorizing an additional username and password. So I'm logged in right now. So you'll be able to access your software for any browser with your own URL. So in this case, you might want to call it vitgo.imron.com. So that's your domain name or URL. I'm logged in now, and this is what we call the dashboard, our main page, the main home page for that operator. I have my dashboard customized to show the graphic maps here, the live event stream over here, and additional information about the software and the system itself, plus an integration to one of our video partners with a camera right here next to the pool table, underneath the pool table or above the pool table. The graphic maps allows you to control the doors that you plot the devices on. For example, this is my office. The door is unlocked, but I can click on here and then relock the door. And there's the strike. I heard the strike click in my office, unlock. So I have full control right now of all the devices just within my dashboard. Betty, you had mentioned, for example, so multi-operator. Yes, you can have different operators log in. I'm logged in as me. And anything I do in the software gets audited, gets logged. So that way, hey, who deleted this user? Let's see who deleted this person. You run an audit report to see which operator deleted this person, which operator unlocked this door. So everything gets logged and by the operator. So you have multi-operator logins, okay? We support unlimited users. Here's 89, but we have customers that have maybe 250,000 records, and they don't delete those records. They just they just disable the record, for example. Here's my record. Okay, you can take a photo if you want to you mentioned about carrying a lanyard with their badge. You can do that. Take a photo, upload it, or if you have a camera that you're running this software from, you can use the webcam on it. Here's my credential. All the credentials I have. Ray mentioned we do support mobile credentials on your phone. If you want your employees to carry a mobile credential on their phone and use the phone to present at the reader, we have that option as well. Or you want to use the cards, you have the ability to do that. And then what doors at what time am I allowed to use my credential? That's what we call the access level. This is what I've been assigned to. All access 24/7, for example. And then additional information about me, about the employee you want to store in these fields, for example. The built-in badge designer, this is where you design badges so you can print it out on a badge printer. Here's a sample. Here's a sample badge I designed. You got the IMRON logo here. The photo is going to print right here in this spot. The card number top right here. First name, last name, and the company, for example, or location. So whatever fields you want to be printed on the card, you just drop that object on here and then link it back to the fields in Personnel Manager, and then that will print it out. Day scheduling, there's a module that allows you to relock doors automatically because there's a special event. If you have a party, you want to keep a front door unlocked from 3 to 8, for example, use this module here to do that. Triggers and macros are very useful. We use this to do to perform a function. Let's say you want to keep you want to play a sound when a door, like a special or high security door, has been forced open. Somebody pushes it open without presenting their badge or pulls it open. You want to play an alarm or a horn or send an email alert or a text alert. You would use triggers and macros to do that programming Here's one right here. If the front door is held open too long, you get an alarm. Then what do you want to do? Maybe send a text message, hey, the front door is open. Or play a sound or the front door's left open. You've got the live event stream here. You probably wouldn't want to use this for a day-to-day because if you want to integrate to Milestone, you'll see these events in Milestone through the integration that Ray mentioned. So these same events you'll see as well as the picture of the cardholder in the Milestone software. So you don't have to have this open for day-to-day use. If you want to do a search for somebody or be on the lookout for somebody presenting their badge, you can do a filter for that person's name, open up another tab, and then have this open up. And then you can see when Mr. Chin here will use his card next. It's a live filter. Monitor control, if you want to see the doors, the status of all your doors, are they locked, open, or closed? You use that right here. So if I want to, where's my door? Here's the server room door. If I want to unlock the door, just click on that. You have full control, again, full control of your devices from anywhere in the world, basically. There it goes. It's unlocked. I'll relock the door. Again, the maps. Here's the maps. You want to upload the floor plan of your building or the rooms. Upload it here. And then from there, you can drop devices onto the map. Okay? You go in edit mode. And then you can plot all the readers, the inputs, the outputs, things you want to control, for example, on a graphical map standpoint, you can do that. Let me see if I can find I'll plot this reader 2 here. It sits right here. Then exit. So now I plot, and then when I click on that reader, I have the command, what we call commands for that reader. Momentary unlock, disable the reader, doesn't allow anybody to get in. Maybe you want to prevent people from using this reader. Here's custom commands. These are essentially soft buttons. When I click on it, it performs the action that these custom commands were programmed for. One I like to use is I have a button here that unlocks all the interior doors. I click on that. I'm here clicking now around the office. And then there you go. These are all the interior doors. They all went red right there. You can see that. All the locks are red now. And then one button again to relock all the doors, for example. So in a scenario where you need to lock down the system or unlock down the system, you can do that by creating one button. Or a button here to pulse the front door to unlock, like maybe a receptionist button to allow somebody in. The video manager, you won't use the video manager here because that's all handled by Milestone. Ray mentioned reporting, so you can run historical reporting based off activity. Give me Vic's activity from last week. Where's he used this card? Who's logged onto the system? So anything you want to run on, you can pretty much run on anything that's pertinent to your day-to-day. Then I'm going to go to hardware real quick. So this is where we manage the hardware that Ray showed you in the screen. So you'll install the controllers. These are the controllers. They're called the IC2/RI2M. They're a 2-door board. And here's an example of a controller that controls the boss's office. 2 readers, but he's only using 1 reader. I can unlock his door from here as well. Relock his door, disable his reader. It's got the firmware information, what's loaded on there, the model, serial number, the current date and time, so I know it's online. And then how many cards are loaded in that controller, 74 of 5,000. And you can also, you go to system settings, you can manage what an operator does or is allowed to do when he's logged into the software, when they're logged in. So maybe if you're issuing cards and badges, you might want to prevent them from going to the hardware manager to make changes or even delete hardware, for example. So you can remove permissions and add permissions as needed based off of their what we call profile assignment. So here's a profile. Here's the admin profile. Admin, I belong to the admin. I can do everything in the software, but perhaps an HR profile will only allow you to go into the badging personnel manager, badge designer, and not necessarily get into hardware manager and other aspects of the software. So this, the links down here will not be even visible to them. And then managing site access, for example, Betty, you had mentioned if Vic goes to the other location, will he have the ability to go to that use his card at the other location? Of course he will. You can define all the different access levels. What doors at what time? Is this employee allowed to go? Is this employee allowed to go to use his card based off of their access level and at what time as well? Perhaps you 24/7, perhaps general employees 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. So you can assign different what we call access level and time schedules for their card access. Any questions? Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Before we do that, can I ask a question on the lockdown? I raised my
Please,
hand.
Betty. Yes, please go ahead.
Please. So you mentioned the lockdowns, and I'm going to bring up a very sensitive subject, and it's workplace violence.
Okay.
How quick would it be to lock down all doors in the event of an emergency of that sort?
It is instant. It's like a split second. Once you click on the button here, for example, or you can create like a panic button, a physical button. You can program a physical button, let's say underneath your desk in a panic scenario, to lock down the whole building or parts of the building by a physical button or what we call a soft button, which are these custom commands. Okay?
That's great.
It is instant, unless the physical button does not require the controllers to talk to the software. Okay, just meaning this soft button is host-based. You click on the software, the button on the software. The controller has to be online talking to the software. Online meaning if you go to Hardware Manager, it's green. The control is constantly talking to the software. It's green right now, means it's online. So the custom commands require you to use the software, and the controller has to be talking to the software to be able for you to send that command to do all the lockdown. The button does not require that. The button is hardwired, so the controller has that in its memory. Say, hey, this button's been pressed. Do the logic that you are programmed to do. Okay, but you can have both. You can do both. You can do a custom command button, soft button, and a hardwired button, like a panic button.
Can the administrator do that through their phone? Let's say certain people will have that panic button. Let's call it the panic button, right?
Yeah,
or the shutdown button.
Yeah, you can create some buttons on the phone to do that.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Example, I just presented my phone, my mobile credential to my reader, access granted. Let's say if I was terminated, you would log in, you being the admin will log in, locate that record. The quickest way to disable my access, regardless of how many types of credentials I have a phone credential, I have a key fob, I have a card. I just disable my record because I'm terminated, save. And that automatically disables access, whether I use my card, my phone. And to do that, it looks like this. It's automatically downloads to the controller. Then I'm denied already. You see that? So that's how quickly you can disable somebody's access. And then re-enable.
Yep.
Re-enable my card. And then that controller gets the information instantly. And the door just unlocked. Okay. There it is right there, the event. The action is instant. What you're seeing, the software has a little delay because it needs to get that information, but the action is instant. So the server that we provide in our cloud system is located in Kansas City, and we're in Irvine. My office is right here in Irvine. So imagine the access granted sends it to the server in Kansas City, sends it back to you, but the controller unlocked the door instantly, no delay. Adding a card holder would be come here to personnel manager, new, take a picture or upload a file, a picture file for them, enter the name, the information you want, first name, last name, email, employee number, whatever information you want to enroll here. Go to the next tab over. This is the credentials tab. Add credential, the number printed on the card that you're entering. Activate it now. I can set an expiration date if I want the card to expire earlier than 2028, for example. And then after that, I go to the access level. What doors at what time am I allowed to, is this employee allowed to use their token? Let's say only the Irvine office and general access only. And then apply selected access level. And when you do that, you can actually see what doors at what time they're allowed to use. Looks like just this one room and working hours.
Chris,
and then
we can, Chris, quick
Yes.
question, and we can customize the names rather than putting door 1, door 2. We can
Oh,
be
yeah,
specific
yep.
with the names.
That is correct. You have full control of what you want to call the controller, the button, the panic button, you can rename that, the doors, the door strikes. And when you rename that, when you get the event for that device, that's what's going to appear here. Okay?
Okay.
That way you
Okay.
see instead of door 1 or lobby door, it might be 20 lobby doors, right?
Right.
So once you add that record and save it, it sends that credential to all the controllers automatically. There's no additional thing you need to do. The card will work instantly. Add the card, issue it to the personnel. They can start using their card at the doors that they were assigned to or given to.
I just wanted to add specifically for the badge creation, it might be worth considering to have colors. Like you see how there's a blue color on the left side of this badge. You can have colors for people with different access levels. So a visitor could be red, for example, so that anyone with a red color, a red line on their badge, you would know that this person has to be, for example, chaperoned right through the site, so that if you see someone with a red badge without a supervisor or without a guide, for example, then you know that this is anyone who looks at this badge, whether they have a picture of their face on the badge or not, you'll know that this person needs to be supervised and someone dropped the ball here, for example. So different people with different colors have different access levels, and that can easily be represented here, so that for example, someone with like a yellow color, that they're only authorized to go inside such and such area or such and such site, and they're not supposed to be here.
Yeah. So I'm just designing as you're talking, Ray, just how easy it is to create a badge. Link this to this is first name.
And this is all built into the access control software. So there's no other component that you'll need to purchase. It's really just a printer at that point.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions regarding the access control, the software?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Okay.
The badges could be custom in the color, right,
Yeah.
to match the VidGo colors.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get a blank slate, so you can do whatever you want, what colors you want. Correct.
You can have
Nice.
your logo on there. You can have different colors. You can have the lines in different areas, the pictures in different areas. That it's fully customizable.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, we want to be able to easily identify people that have are certified to operate forklifts and stuff like that. Is that something that we could add CPR, because what are they called, Sean? Floor wardens for CPR, first responders, people that are, people that are forklift certified. Because if we walk by someone and they're operating a forklift and they don't have that mark on their badge, they shouldn't be operating a forklift.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Sean?
That's good. Yep.
Yeah, you can add, like, let's say a rectangle here and change the color of your forklift operator. You have to be this, if you have this color on your badge, then you're a forklift, right?
Yeah, and
Yes.
I
Or a
think
bar.
what I saw on the previous screen is that you guys have like different templates. So Vitco can have like a bunch of different templates for badges. So like a forklift operator badge, or
Yeah, these are basically badge
this.
templates, correct.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
so you can have a collection of these templates, and then
And
depending on what is needed for a person, you just select the right template and then print them their badge.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So once you design then you can design as many templates as you need. Here's a badge template, let's say, and then I go back here. Here's my record, and then I'm going to link myself to this template, and then preview, save. Okay, that's just a simple. I didn't link the photo to the up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I love it. Okay.